Our prayer of sanctuary, our prayer of community, that I welcome each and every one of you into this sanctuary, into our community. Whether you come here this morning in celebration of Simcha, of Bat Mitzvah, in celebration of a significant birthday, although she has her back to me, we'll see her up on the bimmer a little later. Whether you come to Shul this Shabbat in celebration of Shabbat itself, or whether you're brought to Shul today by the memory of a loved one, whatever brings you into our sanctuary, into our community today, we hope that this service is filled with meaning, with a celebration, and with a little bit of respite from the trials and tribulations that abound in the world around us. Hopefully, as you came in this morning, you picked up a copy of our Mishkan Tefillah. We just began, as I said, with Matavu on page 192. And we'll be continuing in a few moments with our prayers for our health, first our physical well-being, and then our spiritual wholeness on 194 and 96. But before we get there, I would like to invite our Bat Mitzvah up onto the bimmer together with her parents for the presentation of her tablet.
Before I say to you the exact same words that my dad said to me some 34 years ago at my bar mitzvah, and when he and my mum, your Bubba, and also it's very nice to see Rabbi John Levi in the crowd today, who officiated at that ceremony, gave me the tallit I'm wearing today. I want to remind you that the tallit that you'll be wearing is my dad's tallit. And sadly, my dad is not here with us in body, but he's definitely here in spirit, and he would be very proud of you wearing this tallit today. 2 years ago in Perth, Aaliyah wore the same talit with great distinction. And now it's my honour to say to you the same words that my dad said to me when he gave me my talit, which is, this talit has come from Israel. May you wear it in long life, health and happiness.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hitateh b'tzitz.
Amen.
Continue, as I said, with our prayers for health, beginning first with the words of Asher Yatzar on page 194.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yitzar et ha'adam b'chachma uvarav vo nekavim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei chisei chechodecha she'im techa echad mehem o yitzteh echad mehem I asher
Likayem la'amod lefanecha.
Baruch atah Adonai
Rofei kol basar u'maflil la'asot.
Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatat bi teorai. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatat אתה יצרת, אתה נפחת בי, ואתה משמרה בקרבי, כל זמן שאת שמה בקרבי, מודה אני לפניך. אדוני אלוהי ואלוהי אבותיי, ריבון כל המעשים, אדון כל הנשמות, ברוך אתה אדוני אשר בידו נפש כל חי ורוח כל בשר איש.
Please join me on page 198. Nisim b'chol yom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lesachvi bina lehafchin ben yom uvein laila.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם הוקח עברי.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם זוקף כפופים.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokah haaretz al hamayim.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המכין בצדי גבר.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם הנותן לעייף כוח.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המעביר שינה מעיניי ותמונה מעפעפיי.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בצלם אלוהים.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשה אני בת חורין.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני ישראל.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עוזר ישראל בגבורה.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עוטר ישראל בתפארה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה.
Amen. On the foot of page 204.
O eternal our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths, and the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants, and the descendants of all your people Israel may know you. By studying your Torah for its own sake, blessed are you, Eternal One, who teaches Torah to your people Israel.
ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל.
Having just recited the blessing commanding us to busy ourselves in the study of Torah, we turn forward to page 206 and 207 and are presented, as many of us know well, with some wonderful examples of words of Torah, of Divrei Torah. The first from the Talmud, the second and third from more modern places, the final from Paul Ackerman, the most modern of them all. But our Bat Mitzvah has chosen, in celebration of this day, a favorite of the person who you're sharing the celebration with, of Caroline, whose birthday we're going to be celebrating. And those are the words of the Rambam in the middle of page 207.
There are 8 degrees in the giving of tzedakah, each one higher than the one before. To give grudgingly, reluctantly, or with regret. To give less than one should, but with grace. To give what one should, but only after being asked. To give before one is asked. To give without knowing who will receive it, although the recipient knows the identity of the giver. To give without making known one's identity. To give so that neither giver nor receiver knows the identity of the other. To help another to become self-supporting by means of a gift, a loan, or by finding employment for the one in need.
We continue with the words of Kaddish de Rabbanan, the Kaddish in honor of our teachers, and we offer the reading on page 209. For our teachers and their students, and the students of their students, we ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say,
Amen.
And for those who study Torah here and everywhere, may they be blessed with all they need, and let us say,
Amen.
We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say,
Amen.
We turn forward to our Sukkah de Zimra, to our verses of song and psalm, beginning with the words of Baruch She'amar on page 212.
ברוך שאמר והיה העולם ברוך הוא ברוך עושה בראשית ברוך אומר ועושה ברוך גוזר ומקיים ברוך מרחם על הארץ ברוך מרחם על הבריאות ברוך משלם שכר טוב ליראיו ברוך חי לעד וקיים לנצח ברוך בודה ומציל ברוך שמו בשבחות ובזמירות נגדל לך ונשבחך ונפארך ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך מלכנו אלוהינו יחיד כעולמים מלך משובח ומבואר עד שמו הגדול ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מעולל ותשבחו.
On page 214, Psalm 92, מזמור שיר ליום השבת.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, כל להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור עלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינון. השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. ישמחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך רנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש בער לא ידע, וכסיל לא יבין את זאת. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק אתה אמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון, בלבנון יזכה כתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינון בזבח, דשני ורעננים יהיו להגיד, כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולת בו.
As we move our way through our Sukkot de Zimra, our verses of song and psalm, we move from Psalm 92 to Psalm 145. Begins with the words, Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha, Od Yehalalu Chasela. Happy are those who dwell in your house. They shall sing your praises forever. We're on the top of page 215.
Ashrei yoshvei beitecha, od yechalelu chasela.
אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו.
Tehillah leDavid, aram imchai, Elohai hamelech, avracha, shimcha leolam va'ed.
בכל יום אברכך ועלה שמך לעולם ועד.
Gadol Adonai umehula me'od, ve'ligdulata ein chayikeh.
דור לדור ישבח מעשיך וגבורתך יגידו.
Hadar kevod hodecha ve'yavirei, niflulatecha asicha.
בזוז נורתך יאמרו גדולתך אספרנה.
Zecher aviv tucha yabi'u, ve'tzitecha yeranenu.
חנון ורחום אדוני ערך אפיים גדל חסד.
Tov Adonai lekol v'ramiv, al kol me'asiv.
יודוך אדוני כל מעשיך וחסידיך יברכוך.
Kevod malchuta yehomayu, ugvuratecha yaberu.
להודיע לבני אדם גבורותיו וכבוד הדר מלכותו.
מלכותך מלכו כל העמים, וממשלתך בכל דורתו.
סומך אדוני לכל הנופלים ותוקף לכל הכפופים.
עיני כל עמך יסברו, ואתה נותן להם את אכלם בעיתו.
פותח את ידיך ומעש צפייה לכל חי רצון.
צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וכיסיד בכל מעשיו.
קרוב אדוני לכל קורב, לכל אשר יקראו באמת.
רצון יראה יסבל, שבתם ישמע ויושיעם.
שומר אדוני את כל אוהביו ואת כל הרשעים ישמיד.
תהילת אדוני ידר פיו, וכל עשיו שם כל עולם ועד.
ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם
280.
Hallelu el bekodsho, Hallelu berkia uzo, Alleluia, Allelu bigvurotav, Allelu kerov godlo, Alleluia, Alleluia. Alleluia, Alleluia, Alleluia. Hallelu beteka shofar, Hallelu benevel vechinor, Alleluia. Allelu betovu machol, Allelu bemini meogav, Alleluia, 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 Alleluia. Hallelu betzilzilei shama, Hallelu betzilzilei trua, Hallelujah. All the neshama, Alleluia, Hallelujah. Alleluia, 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 Alleluia,
We turn forward to page 223 as we bring our Sukkot Zimra to a close with the words of Yishtabach. Yishtabach Shimcha la'ad malkeinu ha'el ha'melech ha'kadol v'ha'kadosh v'shamayim u'v'aretz ki lacha na'eh Adonai Eloheinu v'elahei avotenu shir u'shbacha halel v'zimra oz memshala netzach gudla gvira tila u'tiferet kedusha u'malchot brachot v'odaot me'ata ve'ad olam.
Baruch atah Adonai el melech gadol v'tishbachot el haodaot adon הנבלעות הבוחר בשירי זמרה מלך אלכי עולמים.
We turn forward one page to page 224 and we rise for the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי ועמליך מלכותי מחייכות ובימכות ובחייכות בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתבר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לילה מן קל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. Please turn to page 228. Praise are you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, O God! In wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creations. Be praised, eternal our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created, may they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Eternal One, Creator of all heavenly lights.
Baruch atah Adonai yotzeh ha'me'orot.
Please turn to page 231. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said. And lights blinded we saw that inner and outer worlds are one as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries. Your light moving before us, as we climbed, fell back and climbed again. Your Sinai of life.
ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושכבך וקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לתוספות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורתם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Please turn to page 238. The truth is that you alone are God, and there is none else. May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice. Let them beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that lives amongst you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asks God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing. Mi chamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedad b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh veleh, shira chadasha שמחו גאולים לשמך על צבאת הים יחד כולם מורדו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד תור ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל ובני ומך יהודה בישראל גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
The Amidah begins on page 242.
אדוני שפתי תפתח, ופי יגיד תהילתך, ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורובה חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי ברוך, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומות. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated.
Page 250. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. מקדשי שבי שבת כולם יזבחו ויתנו מטובך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. והשמיר רצית בו וקידשת שבת. חמדת ימים אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. זכר למעשה וראשית שבת. זכר למעשה וראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת.
Kedushat Hayom continues in the bottom of page 253. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free from the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time. Contain the retreat of the hours and the days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Blessed you, Eternal One, who sanctifies Shabbat. Ratzeh Adonai Eloheinu ba'amcha Yisrael. Ever-present One, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha be'irah na'avod. We turn forward to page 257, continue with the words of the Hoda'ah, our prayer of thanksgiving. For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imagination, we say,
Modim anachnu lach.
for this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons,
Modim anachnu lach.
for the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements,
Modim anachnu lach.
for human community, our common past, our future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression,
Modim anachnu lach.
for high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared,
Modim anachnu lach.
for all who have labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so others might live with dignity and freedom,
Modim anachnu lach.
for human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and to choose.
Modim anachnu lach.
We pray that we may not live by our fears but by our hopes, not by our words but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lachen el hodot. Blessed you, Eternal One. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. And we continue to give that thanks with the words of Sim Shalom on page 258.
Sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, barchenu avinu kulanu ke'echad, be'or panecha, ki be'or panecha natata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu. chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, torat chaim ve'avat chesed, ve'avat chesed, utzaka u'bracha ve'rachamim ve'rachim ve'shalom. Sim shalom tova u'bracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, v'tov v'tov בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שים שלום טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל ישראל עמך. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, ve'imru Amen. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
ועל כל בני אדם. We turn forward to page 362, 362, for Seder Kriyat HaTorah Shabbat, the order of reading Torah on this Shabbat morning.
אין כמוך באלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך. מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. ברצונך את ציון. תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי בך לבד פתחנו, מלך אל רם ונישא, אדון עולמים. ויהי בנצור אהרון ויאמר משה, קומה אדוני ויפוצו אויביך וינוסו משנאיך מפניך. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו.
The Ten Commandments.
Anochi Adonai Elohecha, Asher Hotzeticha me'eretz Mitzrayim, mi-beit avadim. I am your eternal God, who led you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Lo yihyeh lecha Elohim, acharim al panai. You shall have no other gods besides me. Et shem Adonai Elohecha leshav. You shall not swear falsely by the name of Adonai your God. Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Kabed et avicha ve'et amicha. Honor your father and your mother. Lo tartzach. You shall not murder. Lo tinaf. You shall not commit adultery. Lo tignav. You shall not steal. Lo ta'anei bara'acha ed sheker. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Lo tachmod. You shall not covet.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad. במה שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד, יכול בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני הממלכה והעמיד נעשה לכל לראש. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד, יכול בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני הממלכה והעמיד נעשה לכל לראש. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו וישתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו וישתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. Please be seated. So this Shabbat we are in Parashat Pinchas. We are to be found in the Plaut commentary, which you will find looks like this and is under some of your seats. If there is not a copy under yours, there may well be a copy under the seat nearby. Just ask for permission before you reach for it, if there is someone sitting next to you.
We are continuing on page 1211 with Parashat Pinchas. For those of you that were with us last week, or are studying with us the Parashat Shavua, you will recall that last week's Sidra, as well as being filled with the blessings and curses, concluded with a rather dramatic scene where one of the future priests of Israel, he wasn't a priest of Israel at that point, but one of the future priests of Israel picked up a spear and threw it through two people who were engaging in actions which weren't becoming of the people of Israel.
But they were very biblical.
They were very biblical actions, but they weren't becoming of the people of Israel. And so this week's, that was Pinchas who picked up that spear. And so this week's Torah portion begins with Pinchas being commended for his actions. Both our Bat Mitzvah and I will come back and reflect on that a little later in the service. The Sidra then goes on to outline, and this is a lot of what we're going to be reading today, a series of observances for the various festivals and holy days. Not the series of observances that many of us know, not even the series of observances that are necessarily reflected in our stained glass windows that tell the story of each of the holidays, but rather the observances that took place in the Mishkan and then later in the temple. So there is a whole lot in this Torah portion about sacrifice, which is not what we usually expect within the book of Numbers. And then it finally finishes with one of my favorite stories in Torah, the story of the daughters of Slofchad. the first true women's livers in history, belonging to our people, 5 sisters in all who stood up not only for their place in the community, but also established the place of our daughters, our sisters, and our wives in community as equals throughout history. Not necessarily recognised throughout history as equals, thankfully recognised as such within our community, but also thankfully recognised as such within the Torah portion. But if you want to hear more about the daughters of Shlochad, you're going to have to come back at 5 o'clock for our Mincha service, where I'll be addressing that. But right now we're going to be focusing really in that middle section of the stories of how we observed, way back when, the various festival observances. They're going to give us the occasion to also recognise a number of celebrations in our community. First the birthday, then an anniversary, then an opportunity to remember that and recall that there are many of you in Shul this morning honouring the life and the memory of loved ones before we transition into a celebration of this young lady becoming a bat mitzvah. That, by way of introduction, is where we are at. And we are picking up, as I said, on page 1211, Numbers chapter 28, verse 16. And I have a choice of yads to offer our Torah reader.
So for our first Aliyah, we invite Caroline to come to Torah. Tamo tamdi Rachel Tzara bat Baruch hu Devorah L'Aliyah La Torah. As we've said, we're on page 1211. At the bottom of the right-hand column, second line from the bottom, second last word. So I'll say that again. 1211, right-hand column, second line from the bottom, second last word. We're just going to point to where we begin and touch their words. That's it. And then we're going to say the blessing. Baruch Adonai Mevarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bacha Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
ובחודש הראשון ב14 יום לחודש פסח לאדוני וב15 יום לחודש הזה שבעת ימים מצות יאכל ביום הראשון מקרא קודש כל מלאכת עבודה לו תעשו, והקרבתם על אישי עולה לאדוני, הרים בני בקר, שניים ואל אחד, ושבעת כבשים בני שנה, תלמים יהיו לכם. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נתן ברכותינו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה
Amen. Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, V'Leah. May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless you, Caroline, in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of community, in honor of family, in honor of friends, in honor of friends who are like family, but most particularly in honor of giving us, your friends who are like family, the opportunity to celebrate with you as you celebrate a significant birthday.
21 today, 21 today.
In your quiet and unassuming way, you wandered into my office this morning and suggested to me, in a very suggestive but somewhat obligatory way, that I might want to, within the Mishaberach, particularly point out the fact that you are grateful to the support of both this Tigar community and your Witzo community for all the love and strength that they give you. And I looked at you, knowing that I didn't have a choice but not to say that, but thinking to myself, how grateful we are for you. And how I am so sure that that gratitude and appreciation, both from those of us here at TBI and your many friends in the congregation from Wheatso, how grateful they are for you, and how I am positive that that gratitude and that appreciation and that celebration that we have for you extends and is greater than that which you have for us. But it's not a contest, and it's not a competition, and we don't need to debate or argue it. All we can do is acknowledge it, appreciate it, and be thankful for it. We are blessed to have you as part of our communities. We are genuinely blessed, and it is our privilege to be able to celebrate your birthday with you. And together we all have a singular hope and prayer that we will have many more occasions to celebrate Simchas with you. May God bless the work of your hand, which you continue to spread far and wide. May God bless all those that are dear to you. And we say together, V'nomar.
Amen and Mazal Tov.
Did I miss any talking points? Just checking. And so we continue with our celebration, calling to Torah first our groom, and then inviting his bride to join him alongside. So we call to Torah for our second Aliyah, Nathan.
Yamod Natan ben Pinchas shenila li'al Torah.
And together with Nathan Novak, we obviously invite in celebration of their anniversary, Marion to join him and stand alongside of him in support. We are continuing, picking up where we left off in verse 17? Verse 20.
Baruch Adonai Mevarach L'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chadonu mikol ha'amim natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. אמן, ובמחתם סולד בלולה בשמן 13 עשרונים לבר ו2 עשרונים לעיל תעשו יסרון תעשה לחבש האחד ולשבעת הכבשים ושעיר חטאת אחד לכפר עליכם מלבד עולה הבקר אשר לעולת התמיד תעשו את אלה כאלה תעשו ליום 7 ימים 7 ימים להם איש ריח ניחוח לאדוני על עולת התמיד יעשה ונזכו וביום השביעי מקרא קודש יהיה לכם כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת והשלום נטע בדרכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Valeah, the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers. Bless the two of you also in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of community, in honor of family, in honor of friends, but most particularly in honor of giving us, your community, the opportunity to celebrate that which you have created and are continuing to create together as we wish you Mazel Tov on celebrating your 25th wedding anniversary. It is a significant milestone, one which we celebrate with you, but one which someone who hasn't yet arrived at that milestone myself but aspires to it knows doesn't just happen. It takes work, and it's important to stop and to celebrate the importance of that work, the effort of that work, and that which you're able to create together. And standing before Torah in front of community is a wonderful opportunity to do that, to celebrate that which you are becoming, that which you have created, and that which you continue to create. And we hope that the next 25 years are filled with as much purpose and blessing, and we pray health as can possibly be given to each of you. And we ask that those blessings are extended not just to you, but all those that are dear to you. And we ask that God bless you and all those that are dear to you. And we say together, V'nomar. Amen. Mazel Tov.
As is our tradition, we move from celebration to a moment of memory. For those who are here at a period of Shiva Shloshim, or the yahrzeit of a loved one, this aliyah is for you. Please come forward at this time.
As our mourners make their way up to Torah, we'll actually be moving forward within the Torah, within the scroll, to chapter 29, beginning at verse 20, so almost an entire chapter ahead of where we are. It can be found on page 1213, and the yard passes from our chazan to our bat mitzvah.
And you will find us in the left-hand column on 1213, left-hand column, 5th line from the bottom, second word in. So left-hand column, 5th line from the bottom. Uvayom hashlishi. Okay, if anyone would like to touch just there with the tzitzit or with the prayer book. We'll join together in the lesson. Baruch Adonai v'rach l'olam va'ed. Amen.
וביום השלישי הרים 12 אלים שניים כבשים בני שנה 14 תמימים ומנחתם ונזקיהם לפרים לאלים ולכבשים ומספרם כמשפט ושעיר חטאת אחד מלבד עולת התמיד ומנחתה ונזכר.
And the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan לנו וחיי נתן לנו. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
And for each and every one of you, we also say, Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Enotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May the one who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless you in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of family, in honor of community. But on this Shabbat, at this point in the year, particularly in honor of the memory of your loved ones who you represent on this bimah today. Our hope is that by giving you this honor, giving you the opportunity to come up to Torah in their stead, you are not reminded of their passing, but you are rather reminded of their life. All the things that were important to them, all the things that they valued. And by stepping up to Torah and honoring them in this way, we hope that you're able to hold on to those memories, those good, beautiful, significant memories. And as you step down from Torah in a few moments, we hope that you continue to hold onto them. And you continue to let them define you and the things that you do. Because if you can do that, even in some small way, you will go a long way to ensuring that their memory is truly for a blessing. Here at TBI, we intentionally choose to put this aliyah, this moment of remembrance, sandwiched between simcha, between celebrations. Because our hope too is that in honor of those who you represent, that you too will be able to move from simcha to simcha, and that over the year that comes you will only know blessing, because that will truly be a blessing. We ask that God bless you and all those that are dear to you, and we say together in the Amen.
Amen. And so we continue with our bat mitzvah, who will share a few words about her Torah portion.
As we transition to celebration, we're going to take a few moments to learn a little of this week's Sidra. I gave the rough overview. Now we get an opinion.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My Torah portion is Pinchas, and it comes from the book of Numbers, chapter 25, verse 10, to chapter 30, verse 1. In my Torah portion, two people, Cosby and Zimri, decide to do something that wasn't allowed, which was to have relations in a tent. Even though they knew it wasn't permitted, they still did it. One of the problems was they were not embarrassed by what they did, as they didn't do it in private. They didn't seem to care if anyone knew, and since so many people knew about it, it was obvious that their behavior was going to lead to punishment. Pinchas, a leader in the Israelite camp, wanted to teach them a lesson, and did so by killing them in front of everyone, by taking a spear and piercing their bodies, and then showing everyone that actions have consequences. He taught everyone a lesson, that breaking a rule leads to punishment. I wanted to share with you an example from school. Sometimes I feel that if we do something minor in class, we are punished within school or after school detention, suspension, or even expelled. At times, I feel that the mistake was so minor, yet the punishment is very big, or we may get blamed and punished for things we didn't even do. For my next example, I would like to talk about racism, and how it seems that in America, African Americans don't do anything wrong, yet they get pulled over from just walking around, or an extreme example, they get a gun to their head from a police officer, even though they didn't do anything wrong. Yes, some do things that are not right, and they get punished just like everyone else. But in many cases, a police officer will arrest them just for living their life. That isn't fair at all. No one should be treated like that because of their race or because they look different. There are matters worse than black people walking around and doing normal things. There are actual people getting hurt and suffering from bad people. And police are just paying more attention to stupid things, when they should be paying attention to real crime. What I've learned is that in some cases, punishment is either too strong or not enough. I think that people should speak out when they see injustice. I hope that I will also speak out against things that I see wrong in the world. Shabbat Shalom.
And so now I pass the yard back to you as you continue your reading, picking up in verse 23. And we continue with the celebration of your bat mitzvah by calling to Torah a series of your family members before you yourself get called to Torah for the very first time. And so for our fourth aliyah, we take a great pleasure in calling to Torah your Zayda, your Buber, and your auntie.
יעמדו דוד בן קיבא ולאה ורות בת אברהם ודבורה בת מנדה ורות רביעים לעלייה לתורה. You will find us on page 1213, left-hand column, bottom line, third last word. I'll say that again, 1213, left-hand column, bottom line, third last word. We're just going to point to where you're beginning. Over Yom HaRevi'i. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Amen.
Uvayom HaRevi'i Harim Asara Eilim Shnayim Kevashim B'nei Shana Arba'a Asar Tamimim Minchatam V'nizkehem Laparim Le'elim V'lakvashim V'misparam Kemishpat Ushe'ir Izim Echad Chatat Milvad Ula Hatamid
minchata v'nizkeha. Amen.
Three of you, we also ask that God, the one who blessed our forefathers and foremothers, bless you in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of community, in honor of family, in honor of friends, but most particularly in honor of this young lady as she becomes a bat mitzvah, and that you get the opportunity to celebrate with her as she takes on the challenges that she has through this learning journey and shares with you the mastery that she has accomplished at the end of that journey. Not just the skills to lead the service in the way that she has, that is, but also the poise and the maturity to share her thoughts and her mind. That gives us great confidence in the future, and our hope is that as her family and representative of the friends that fill this sanctuary, that all of us will have many more occasions to see this young lady demonstrate her maturity, her growth of mind and soul and spirit, and continue to support her along the way. We ask that God bless each of you, and we ask that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together the Namah. Amen.
Amen. Mazel tov. For our fifth aliyah, we invite Sarah and Aliyah to come to Torah. Ya'amdu Sarah bat David ve'Ava, ve'Aliyah bat David ve'Ava, 50 la'aliyah la'Torah. You will find us on page 1214, right-hand column, fourth line down, second last word. 1214, right-hand column, fourth line down, second last word, pointing to it, Uvayom ha'chamishi.
Baruch
Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bacha banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Would you come forward?
Uvayom ha'chamishi parim tisa elim shnayim kevashim b'nei shana 14 tamimim uminchatam v'nizkehem laparim le'olim v'lakashim b'misparam kemishpat ושאיר חטאת אחד מלבד עולת התמיד ומנחתה ונזכרת. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נתן בתוכנו. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Shaberach Matenu Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Matenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless the two of you. Also in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of community, in honor of family, in honor of friends, in honor of those that have been called to Torah before you, in honor of those who will be called to Torah after you, but most particularly in honor of being able to stand alongside your little sister as she becomes bat mitzvah. I asked her just a few moments ago if there's anything special I could say about you guys. If there was some way that I could recognize the unique relationship that you must share as sisters. You know what she said to me? She said you can let them know that they're okay. So congratulations for being okay. Your little sister appreciates the fact that she has older sisters that are okay. And as she grows, I'm sure she's going to continue to appreciate the fact that you guys are okay. And from time to time, she might even appreciate a little bit more than that. But as I said in our introduction, our Torah portion concludes this morning with a powerful story about sisters and the way that they supported each other and the way that in their support of each other, they also changed our world and our tradition. And I hope that that is a spirit that flows through you guys on your best days as you support and encourage each other. And we hope that it continues to be the case and that your best days are more often. We ask that God bless you and all those that are dear to you. And we say together, Amen.
Amen. For our sixth aliyah, we invite דוד ואהבה, יעמדו דוד בן מנדל ורות, ואהבה בת אברהם ושרה, 60 לעלייה לתורה. Yes, that is you guys. I was just reading the Hebrew names for you. You will find us on page 1214, right-hand column, 5th line from the bottom, last word. 1214, right-hand column, 5th line from the bottom. Uvayom hashishi.
Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Uvayom hashishi parim shmona elim shnayim kevashim b'nei shana arba'a asar tamimim uminchatam v'niskeihem laparim le'olim v'lakvashim במספרם כמשפט, ושעיר חטאת אחד מלבד עולת התמים, מנחתה ונזכה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
And just as we've asked God to bless all of those that have come to Torah before you, we also ask that the God of our ancestors bless the two of you in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of family, in honor of community, in honor of your daughters, but most particularly in honor of your youngest. As she becomes bar mitzvah, it is a particular milestone in your life, not just her life. And it is a wonderful thing to note, to celebrate, and to really rejoice in. I commented to your daughter just as you finished the Talit presentation that the two of you seemed a lot more nervous than she did. And she looked at me and said, I think they are a lot more nervous. Being nervous for our children is one of the great gifts of parenthood. We never lose that. And I hope that you never lose that. But I also hope that you never lose that sense of pride that you experience and that you're feeling right now, that real sense of joy as you watch your youngest daughter become bat mitzvah. And not just become bat mitzvah, but truly be bat mitzvah. To be worthy of the title of what it means to be a child of the covenant. And know that so much of that has to do with the support, the love, the nurturing, the education, and the inspiration that you have given her. Our hope and our prayer is that you are able to continue to give her that support, and that she can continue to flourish with that support, and that you will be able to continue to feel the things that you feel right now. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together, V'nomar.
Amen. Mazal tov. And then for our final aliyah, we invite our bat mitzvah. Tamod, 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 Yediela bat David v'Ava, Nara tabat mitzvah la'aliyah laTorah. Point to where you're beginning. Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. We are, on page 1214, left-hand column, beginning of the column. Uvayom Hashvi'i.
Uvayom Hashvi'i Harim Shiva Elim Shnayim Kevashim B'nei Shana Arba'a Asar Tamimim Uminchatam V'niskeihem Laparim Le'elim V'lakvashim B'mizparam Kemishpat Ushe'ir Chatat Echad Milvad Ulat Hatamid Minchata V'nizkeah.
And it's an afterthought.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chaya olam natav betocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
For you too, we say Mishaberach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless you, Jade. In honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of community, in honor of family, in honor of friends, in honor of all of those that have been called to Torah before you, but most particularly in honor of you yourself and that final aliyah as you became bat mitzvah. I particularly liked as you got to the last few words, you slowing down. It wasn't because you were forgetting what you were reading or weren't sure of the melody. It was that you were like, oh, I'm done. I hope that sense of reluctance to be done is something that never leaves you. That you always feel like you have appetite for more, particularly when it comes to your Jewish journey and your Jewish story. As you know, I came to this journey very, very late. It wasn't until the middle of the day on Thursday that the two of us realized that we'd be sharing this morning together, because along your journey you've been supported by two incredibly powerful and important role models, Jewish women who have inspired you as to what it means to be a bat mitzvah. Both in your tutor Jade and in your Rabbi Kim. But in their absence here today, they're also both teaching you a very profound lesson. You're never too old to stop learning. Jade looked at you and said, I want so much to be at your bat mitzvah, but the opportunity to go and to study Torah at Pardes in Jerusalem was not something that would necessarily come again. And she wanted to model for you the importance of taking these opportunities and continuing to learn. And when Kim spoke to you on Thursday and said that she couldn't be here because she had family overseas or unwell and that she needed to go be with them, she modeled for you the importance of what it means to be an adult in the Jewish community, to constantly put those around us before us, to understand that we exist to be in the service of others, not just those of us who are privileged to be clergy, but each and every one of us are blessed to be in the service of others. So even in their absence, they give you important lessons of what it is to be a bat mitzvah. Lessons which I know are important to you, and lessons which I know you will continue to take to heart. Because I know, I've heard, and I've seen through the lessons they've taught me, they've shared with me, and that you've shared with me, that this is not the end of anything, but rather a significant milestone along what we hope will be a long and meaningful journey. And to mark this milestone, I want to invite your parents and your sisters to come stand around you, to place their hands upon your shoulders or your head, if you'll allow them to mess your perfectly prepared hair, and to join with Michelle and I in offering a blessing for you on this occasion, a blessing as old as our people itself, a blessing first offered by Aaron to his sons, and then from the priests to people, and in more recent generations from parents and family to those that are most dear to them.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the brightness of our tradition shine down upon you and be absolutely awesome to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom.
And wherever it is that this journey leads you, may you always feel the support of those that surround you today. May you always feel the sense of belonging and purpose that lives within you today. And may you always feel the sense of peace that inspires all of us today as we say Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov.
Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov. Yelanu, 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 oh bechol Israel. Yelanu, Yelanu, oh bechol Israel. David Melech Israel, Chai v'Kayam, David Melech Yisrael.
You're welcome to come and clean up. Just remembering that the lessons we learnt in Kinder, that sharing is caring, and that the tallis bag is really for carrying lollies, not for prayer shawls. Otherwise, we'll get to most of them later. But
So guys, if you're young at heart, this is your chance. Come and get it right now.
while our bimmer is cleaned or not, we will continue. We will take the lessons of Torah, the strength of Torah, and use it to guide us as we offer a blessing of healing for those in our community who are unwell at this time. The blessing can be found back in the prayer book on page 371. 371.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. This Shabbat we especially think of Albert Ben Tata, Eva Marks, Gabrielle Batitra Kudvora, Annette French, Sue Brown, Rona Zinger, Aviva Ben Tata, Don Williams, Margaret Cockrum, Nisim Yona Ben Natan, Shmuel Vesheli, Or Ben Miriam Yuval, Pam Dean, Ruth Myers, Michael Lauer, Adira Bat Rachel, Bella Magid, Hannah Bat Dora, Mel Wright, Yuda Kostenko, Rosemary Moore, Morris Mark, Douglas Simons, Rachel Caruthas, Fred Seligman, Diana Bliss, Maurice Elijah, Ruth Taft, and Mayor Shalom Ben Rachel. If there are other names that you would like to add to this list, or if I've mispronounced a name, please pull out their names as I look around the room, or think of them in your hearts. Page 371. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We turn to the foot of the facing page, the base of page 370, as we rise to give honor to the Torah.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe libnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe libnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Yara la 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 la. Yara la 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 la. Yara la 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 la. Yara la 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 la. Yara la 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 la. Yara la 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 la. Yara la la yara la la. Please be seated.
We continue with our Haftarah. Haftarah for Parashat Pinchas can be found in the first book of Kings, It can be found on page 1275 in the Plat Chumash and will be read by our Bat Mitzvah in translation. You will see very quickly the connection with our Torah portion this morning.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacha b'nviim tovim, v'ratza b'divreihem, hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher haTorah u'Moshe avdo, u'Yisrael amo, u'v'nviei ha'emet v'sadek. The hand of the Eternal settled on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran ahead of King Ahab, all the way to Jezreel. When Ahab told Queen Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and how he had put all the prophets of Baal to the sword, Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah, who said, "May the gods do this to me, and more if by this time tomorrow I have not done the same thing to your life as he did to the life of one of them." Fearing this, Elijah fled at once for his life. He came to Beersheba, in the territory of Judah, and there he left his servant behind. He went on a day's journey into the wilderness. He came and sat under a broom bush and prayed for death, saying, "It is too much, take my life now, Eternal One. I am no better than my forebears." He lay down under the bush and fell asleep. Suddenly an angel touched him and said, "Get up and eat." He looked around, and there beside his bed was a cake baked on hot stones and a jar of water. After eating and drinking, he lay down again and slept. The angel of the Eternal came a second time and woke him up, saying, "Get up and eat, or the journey will be too much for you." He got up and ate and drank, and that meal gave him enough strength to walk 40 days and nights as far as the mountain of God at Horeb. There he went into a cave and spent the night. Then the word of the Eternal came to him. "What are you doing here, Elijah?" He answered, "Eternal One, God of heaven's hosts, I have always been devoted to you, only to you. But the people of Israel have broken their covenant with you, tore down your altars and killed your prophets. I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me." The Eternal said to him, "Go back the way you came to the wilderness of Damascus. There anoint Hazael as king of Aram, and anoint Jehu, son of Nimshi, as king of Israel, and anoint Elisha, son of Shaphat, of Abel Meholah, as prophet to take your place. Anyone who escapes death at the hands of Hazael will be killed by Jehu, and anyone who escapes Jehu will be put to death by Elisha. I will leave in Israel only 7,000, all those who did not kneel to Baal, whose lips did not kiss him." He left that place and found Elisha, son of Shaphat, who was plowing. There were 12 pairs of oxen before him. He was with the 12th. Elijah went over to him and tossed his mantle onto him. He left the oxen and ran after Elijah and said, "Let me please go kiss my mother and father, and then I will follow you." "Go back," said he, "for what will I do to you?" Elisha went back and took the pair of oxen and slaughtered them. Using the wood from the ox harness, he boiled the meat and gave it to the people to eat. Then he got up and went after Elijah and became his apprentice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Sur kol ha'olamim, Sadik bechol hadorot, Ha'el ha'ne'eman, Ha'omer ve'oseh, Ha'metzaber u'mikayem, Shekol divrav emet v'sadek, Al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah, ve'al ha'nviim, ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, Liktusha ve'limnucha, Lechavod ultifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umvarchim motach. Yitbarach shimcha befi kochai tamid leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. We invite the Torah to rise and the congregation to rise with it as we offer blessings now for our congregation, for the country and for the people and the state of Israel. And I invite those honored with reciting these blessings to come up. The aunties of our Bat Mitzvah, dear family, friends, and a future Bar Mitzvah who will be beginning. Marcel will be beginning with our first blessing, the blessings for our congregation, which can be found on page 376.
Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us. Love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'othcha levadcha be'ira na'avod. We continue now with the prayer for our country. It is an alternative reading to that, which is found in the prayer book.
Let us, in the glasses.
She wasn't laughing at you.
Oh, she always does. Let us bless our country of Australia and all its people. Let us have dreams in this historic land of dreamers. Let the hot winds from the desert fire our imaginations. Let the red soil of the plans keep us rooted to the things that matter. Let the water of our rivers, lakes and oceans flow into our hearts, giving us depth and understanding.
Keep our eyes open to the beauty of this land. May we strive to keep its beauty present and strong. Help us remember those who have lived in this land before us and those who have made it their home in more recent times. May we never be lazy in the work for peace. May we honour those who have died in defence of our ideas.
Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they lead with justice and compassion. Let our compassion be like the encompassing coastlines of our continent. May acceptance, kindness and peace live steadily within this ancient and enduring land.
Amen. We turn back to the prayer book and to the facing page 377, as we continue with the prayer for the people of the state of Israel.
שאלו שלום ירושלים, ישליו אוהביך, אבינו שבשמיים צור ישראל וגואלו. ברך את מדינת ישראל ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן עליה בעברת חסדך, ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך, ושלח אורך בעמיתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה, ותקנם בעציה טובה מלפניך, ונתת שלום בארץ ושמיכת עולם ליושביה. Amen.
We turn back to page 374 as we return the scroll to the ark.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו. הודו על ארץ בשמיים, וירן קרן לעמו, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל עם קרובו. הללויה, הללויה, כי לקח טוב נתתי לכם, תורתי אל תעזבו, את חיימי למחזיקים בה, ותומכיה מאושר, דרכיה דרכי נועם, וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך, ונשובה קדש ימינו כקדם. קדש ימינו
So Jada, it will not surprise you to hear that you and I both have a very similar discomfort with this week's Torah portion. In your Devar Torah, you spoke very articulately, very beautifully, very poignantly about what you saw as perhaps the unjust use of authority and power. You spoke about what you saw Pinchas do, what you heard or read Pinchas do, and you thought about how that applied to the world in which you live. Yes, I accept that there aren't a lot of people spearing people in the world in which we live, but you are able to connect it to that which you experienced at school, where sometimes you allegedly accuse your teachers of perhaps using too much of their authority, perhaps inappropriately using their authority to bring about consequences that perhaps didn't quite match up with the crime or the injustice. And then you reminded us all too well of the issue of Black Lives Matter and the campaign that has captured the heart and the spirits of so many across the world, but particularly in North America, where they see authority not necessarily being, and power not necessarily being distributed evenly and fairly, but rather discriminated in many cases based on colour. What I liked most about your Devar Torah is that you didn't say that these things didn't require consequences. You didn't say that everyone's perfect and that we live in a perfect world and there should be no consequences. You just said that justice is really about consequences matching the action, and that the consequences should be appropriate, and that ensuring that people face appropriate consequences for the poor choices that from time to time we make in life is actually the pursuit of justice. That's what justice is. And to pull that out of a very complicated Torah portion, I think is a wonderful, insightful bit of Torah. And it makes me kind of like this week's Torah portion a little bit more than I did at the start of the week, when I found myself reading it once more, as I do each year, as I turn back to our people's story and remind myself of the words of Torah, the lessons I've learnt and the lessons I've taught. But as I found myself reading and telling and retelling the story of Pinchas, I was reminded of an often used expression. Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Have you heard the expression before? Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Well, basically what it means is that, if you live in a glass house that's vulnerable to stones and other people damaging it and causing harm to you, you should probably think about whether you're going to throw stones first. Because usually throwing stones at someone will result in nothing other than them throwing stones at you. It's a fancy parable, an expression essentially telling us to think before we act and to be very cautious before we call other people out on their actions without stopping and thinking about our own actions. Why do I think that is an important reminder, important lesson for this week's Torah portion? Well, Pinchas's actions were quite extreme. Described by many Torah commentaries and commentators as being the quintessential act of zealotry, of zeal, of religious fervor. What is it that Pinchas saw? Two people acting in a way that was outside the bounds of accepted normative behavior in the camp. He was fearful that that action, if left unpunished, would result in the change to what is normative behavior within the camp, normative behavior within this nascent society that was being formed in the desert. And so, in the absence of Moses or any of the other leaders of the people acting, he took it upon himself to act and secure the future, the integrity of the society, by killing 2 people in the most brutal of ways. And then at the start, that was last week's Torah portion, at the start of this week's Torah portion, which makes us even more uncomfortable, is God praises him. God taps him on the back and says, "Well done." What are we in the 21st century meant to make of such a story? Of religious fervor, religious fundamentalism, people acting out in the singular belief of their understanding of tradition as being right and just, and doing extremely hurtful, in this case murdering, 2 people in the name of God. What are we meant to make of it? Well, the first thing, and this I say as a rabbi speaking to a Jewish community made up of both people who identify as Jews and filled with family and friends in support of them, is that we need to be careful not to throw stones, because we live in glass houses. That our tradition has at its core a number of uncomfortable demonstrations of religious fundamentalism. And we cannot ignore it. We cannot set it aside, and we cannot accuse it or accuse others of being more prone to it than we. I'll give you 2 modern examples of that application. Many in this room will recall the actions of Baruch Goldstein, a physician, a medical doctor, who saw people, much like Pinchas, acting outside what he saw were the acceptable bounds of society, of the community that he felt part of. And so he walked into a place of gathering, and in the name of our God, murdered almost 30 people, claiming in court that he was acting in the spirit of Pinchas. Fast forward another 25 years, Yigal Amir, the assassin of Yitzhak Rabin, described himself and asked others, his jailers in particular, to refer to him as Pinchas, because he felt that his actions were so just that they will be blessed by God. But Pinchas is not the only biblical example. And those that have acted like Pinchas in more modern times and claim to be acting like him are not the only zealots in our tradition. Fast forward from our Torah portion 1,000 years to the story of the Maccabees. And they too acted in a form and fashion of religious zealotry. In fact, Yochanan Hyrcanus, the 5th Maccabean king, is the only example in the entirety of Jewish history of a Jewish leader who forcibly converted people to Judaism by giving them 2 choices: be Jewish or die. We need to be careful not to throw stones, because, my friends, we live in a glass house. Our tradition is not perfect, and it's filled with difficult and challenging stories. But at the same time as we tell these difficult and challenging stories, at the same time as we wrestle with this Torah, we also need to teach in the very next breath that those that observed it in its literalism, those who acted and followed it in its fundamental interpretation, are in an absolute and extreme minority within our tradition. The rabbis spilt volumes of ink throughout the centuries downplaying the militarism of the Maccabees. The rabbis spent volumes and spilled volumes of ink writing about the actions of Pinchas and how he was eventually made a priest, not in reward for his extreme actions, but to keep him so busy managing the temple that he wouldn't act that way again. It seems at one reading that it is a reward, but by the most traditional of readings, it was a protection for the safety of the community. So what do we do with this difficult Torah? What are we as moderns meant to do when we encounter difficult Torah like this, which makes us feel uncomfortable and makes us question that which we have said and described about others? What do we do when we read our tradition and feel, to a certain degree, a certain hypocrisy in our words and our actions? We do what our bat mitzvah did this morning. We turn it over, and we turn it over, and we turn it over again until we find the teaching in it. Her teaching this morning: don't be like Pinchas. And don't be like those teachers at my school that use that little bit of power that they have over the class. Be conciliatory. Be thoughtful. Moderate your actions and moderate your intent, because that is what justice looks like. Yes, there is a fundamentalist core to our tradition. But yes, it has always been the minority voice. And we need to talk out louder and with more confidence than it. Because as I said last night, we are truly blessed to live in interesting times. And if we don't know our Torah, if we don't know our teachings, others will use it against us. Others will use it for harm and division and derision, and that is not what it was ever meant to be. That is not what our bat mitzvah challenged it to be, and that's not what we want it to be. And so to the rabbis who around the world will be reading this Torah portion today and speaking to their literalist, fundamentalist communities and inspiring their congregants to be like Pinchas, I say, do not read Torah out of context. Do not read Torah out of its literary or its historical setting. And if you're going to teach about Pinchas, then you better teach about the daughters of Slofchad. And you better teach about the fact that a Torah portion that began with violence and aggression and anger finished with us listening to our daughters and our sisters and our mothers and pursuing a more peaceful, more meaningful, and more intentional world. The world I hope that we have the privilege of living in a long time into the future. I wish you all Shabbat Shalom. We turn forward to page 586 as we conclude with the Aleinu prayers. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה את הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת לו בגובי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו remain standing for a few more moments as we think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. So this Shabbat, we think of the period of Shiva, we think of Mani, Horoniak, and we think of the period of Shloshim. We think of Joseph Flagner, Deborah Friedlander, Anton Herman, Gerald Morton, Robert Phillip, and Margaret Swatler. In addition, we remember those whose yahrzeits fall on this Shabbat. We think of Bianca Auber, Sarah Balin, Bertie Berger, Marion Berison, Philip Daskell, Roger Elkman, Margaret Forgaz, William Glazer, Annie Waldberg, Walter Joseph, Albert Joseph, Nathan Kay, David Komisarov, Maxine Krantz, Richard Lungfelder, Esther Lazarus, Arthur Lehner, Kurt Leiser, Netta Levine, Derek Levy, Daniel Lewis, Wayne Lewis, Arnold Lipson, Anna Martin, Alan Michael, Jack Morris, Fred Moat, Maurice Rose, Millie Rosenberg, Zelix Rosenfeld, Paul Roster, Michael Sadlin, Harry Samuel, Lola Samuel, Kurt Schindler, Des Sharma, Abraham Schneider, Jack Strieger, Jeffrey Sword, Gilberto Tam, Jack Wicks, and Isaac Zimmels. If there are any names that I have mispronounced or any additional names that you would like to share at this time, please do so as I look around the room. Zichronam livracha, may their memories truly be for a blessing as we turn to page 598. 598, and join together in the words of the mourners Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal levit kadash shemei rabba, ve'alma divra chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mavorach le'olam ul'almaya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה לאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel, and to all of humanity. And we say, Amen. Please be seated as our President shares a few announcements from the Board of Governors.
Thank you, Michelle, and thanks to you and Ellie for your liturgy this morning. Welcome back, Gersh. Wonderful to have you back, your voice and yourself back in full strength. And a very warm welcome to Temple Beth Israel from our Board of Governors. Welcome to the Simmerman family and extended family and friends. And welcome if you're here to pray in community, to celebrate or to remember a loved one. And welcome to any visitors as well. Jada, come and join me. Mazel tov. Jada, what a wonderful job you did leading the service. And your laning was absolutely beautiful, all of it. And you made everyone proud, and you did it all with great confidence and poise. Jada, your parents' connection to TBI goes back to your dad's bar mitzvah, as he told us, with Rabbi Levi in 1985, and then your parents' marriage. You were named here as a baby by Rabbi Morgan. And then as a family you lived in Perth for 5 years, and your sisters became bar mitzvah there in Perth. We love our links to Temple David in Perth, but we're even more thrilled that you've all returned to Melbourne and to TBI. You've told me you enjoyed your preparation with Rabbi Kim and with Jade. Hello Jade, if you're watching in Israel. And you told me that the best part was mastering the Latin, and we could see that you did that. To introduce you a little bit, you go to Bialik College, you're in Year 7, and you enjoy everything, but most of all you enjoy your art and English. And I think your talents lie on the artistic and the creative side. And you enjoy things like painting and fashion and design. Jada, you're a warm and happy person, I've found. You're close to your family, you get along with everyone, and you have a keen sense of what is fair and the right thing to do. And in your Bat Mitzvah journey, you've been able to explore your Jewish heritage as well as the other cultural heritage in your background. So that deep knowledge of who you are, I think, is going to serve you well in the years ahead. So I welcome you as our newest adult member. And we have for you your Bat Mitzvah certificate that proves it really happened. We have for you a book on our beautiful stained glass windows, and we also have a gift of a Kiddush cup for you to have with your family on Friday nights. Thank you, and Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
A few announcements. As Rabbi Lazaro said, you can come back for Mincha service if you wish with us here at 5 p.m. as we celebrate with the Katz family as Sam becomes Bat Mitzvah. Quite a lot of things happening next Shabbat, starting with pre-Shabbat drinks next Friday, the 26th at 5:30. Join us for drinks out in the courtyard. Then there will be Tot Shabbat on Shabbat morning at 9:30 for children of toddler age and their families. Then our services as usual on Shabbat morning, and again a Mincha service as well. Sunday there will be TBI Film Club, the coming of age movie Stand By Me. The film starts at 7 o'clock. I'd like to remind you of our member forums, which will be on next Sunday the 28th or Monday the 29th. We're holding 2 forums so you can help us with ideas about use of that building there, the King David Preschool, as they are moving out of the building in December. So please do come along, bring your ideas, help us envision the future and join that conversation. I'd like to thank Dot and Muffy for being our Shamashim today, and my fellow board members, Joanne and Gary, for being in attendance and helping. After the final song, do please join us in the Sloan Hall behind me for Kiddush, which is kindly sponsored by the Simmelman family and by Caroline Hurd. And if you would kindly thank security volunteers when you leave, and do please put your books back on the trolley. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and we conclude with the words of En Kelohenu. This is a Ladina version you'll find on page 631, 631. Eloheinu, en Kadoneinu, en Kemalkeinu, en Kemochienu, non come vuestro Dios, non come vuestro Señor, non come vuestro Rey, non come vuestro Salvador. Mi Eloheinu, mi Kadoneinu, Malkeinu, mi Kemochienu, en come vuestro Dios, en come vuestro Señor, en come vuestro Rey, en come vuestro Salvador. Nor el Eloheinu, nor el Adoneinu, nor el Malkeinu, nor el Mochienu. Lo haremos a nuestro Dios, lo haremos a nuestro Señor, lo haremos a nuestro Rey, lo haremos a nuestro Salvador. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adoneinu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Bendito vuestro Dios, bendito vuestro Señor, bendito vuestro Rey, bendito vuestro Salvador. Atau Eloheinu,
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us in Sloan Hall for Kiddush.
Shabbat Shalom.
Let's go this way. As you make your way into Sloan Hall, you'll notice that there's both grape juice and wine for Kiddush. The lighter is grape juice, the darker is wine. Looks lovely. Yeah, I'm going to work on that in 1 second. Please, as you come on in, take either some grape juice or some wine. We'll be making Kiddush in just a moment. Beginning with the words of Veshamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש על כן ברך את יום השבת ויקדשהו.
Therefore God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy.
סברי מרנן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן לחיים.
לחיים טובים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. אמן. שבת שלום אין בתיאבון.
שבת שלום.
שבת שלום. מזל טוב. שבת שלום. שבת שלום. שבת שלום.